I've been here with Amtex again with the second part of the video of Marine 4047 automatic pump out. We're going to show you how to start the machine prior to the job, and of course how to shut it down when it gets towards the end of the job. Now, if you notice, we're hooked up to rotary hard surface cleaner or TH40, which combined together, they do put a combination of 8 GPM, which is 8 gallon per minute. The reason we choose to go with a rotary extractor is because we want to show you her heat production, how she can handle 2 rotary extractor at the whatever the temperature you set this baby on. Now, as far as the starting the machine, when the machine is off, let's learn to have everything off. Choke off, throttle minimum, key off, your APO, which is your automatic pump out, off, your pump is off, your thermostat is off, your burner is off, and of course your dump valve is off. So in order to start, always want to make a habit of checking the oil level on the engine, and of course one of the other areas on the left side that you need oil checking will be your pump. If there is a dipstick, you need to check it once every 50 to 70 some hours. There's a dipstick in the end that you can remove and check for oil. Now once we have the oil checked on this, we can go ahead and start. As far as starting it, you have the choke, which is the right lever all the way to the right, which shows off, and of course your throttle minimum. As I'm going to crank the machine, I'm just going to leave the throttle there because I want the machine to heat up. You know, when the machine is cold, do not start it and rev the RPM high, because you want to allow the oil to start circulating around the engine block and kind of lubricate the engine before you start speeding up. So as far as starting, it's very simple. With one hand or one finger on the ignition, as I'm turning the key on, my low oil fuel is on because there is no oil circulation. But once I start the machine and the machine starts running, she should go off. If the red light remains on, that means the oil is low on the engine. If you notice in the bottom, you do have your off and on light, which is the yellow, and of course green light shows that water is present, which I've already turned the water on for me to be able to do some type of pressure output out of it. Now the thermostat remains off, the burner remains off, so we're going to go ahead and start it. And as I'm going to start it, the red light on top should go off, and I'm going to open the choke. Always run for about less than a minute or so to kind of loosen up. And then once we get the machine loosened up, we're going to go ahead and rev the engine to 2800 RPM. When you run any of our dual fuel system, make sure no matter what you do, what type of cleaning you do, run the system anywhere from 2800 and up, because at that speed you're allowing the engine to create enough horsepower for everything on board, like your pump out system, pump, generator. They all have enough torque to provide you with the finest performance that's possible. If you run the machine below 2800, there is not enough rotation, let's say for the generator to give you the amperage you need, or the pressure pump to create the PSI that you need. So the RPM range to run any of our dual system, it doesn't matter if it's a Marine, 3047, 4047 Dragon, it must be 2800 and up. The max I do recommend not to go over 3100, because past that point there is extra horsepower that's being created that's not needed. So you're really using more gas and you're wearing your engine faster. So try to maintain your speed between 2800 to 3100 at your discretion. If you're going dual action, go closer to 3100. If you're doing a single, try to remain around 28 to 2900. We're going to go ahead and rev the engine up to about 2900. We're going to turn this pump on. We're going to turn the burner on. We show our heat production, and from there we're just going to go quickly show you the shut off. Now, there is a yellow. There is a jumper hose that comes with any of our dual fuel system. This is used at the end of the job if you're doing a single action, for you to evacuate all the hot water out of the system and cool it off. But because I'm demonstrating the machine with 2 rotary extractors, I won't be able to use these. But what I'm going to use at the end, instead of this hose, I will use one of the tools to show you how to cool off the system. So again, if you're doing a single action, you must have this on one of the pressure output. So that way, when you get done at the end of the job, you'll be able to simply open the yellow handle valve and allow the machine to cool off. So we're gonna put this away for now. We're gonna rev the engine up. You do not turn any pump, anything on unless the engine is in high speed. Because if you turn let's say the burner on and there's not enough speed on the engine, the burner will not run correctly and you're going to cause smoke and also soot blowing out of the burner. So first thing you do, you increase the RPM. We're going to be going to about 2900. Since we're using the tile and grout cleaning tool, our pressure should be 1,000. Next thing you do, you set your thermostat. I'm setting it at 220 degrees. Next thing you do, turn the burner on. Now the only way the unit can produce it if you use your tool. So we're going to turn the burner on. We're going to go and spray out of the TS40. Vacuum. First thing we do, we shut off our burner because we don't need it anymore. The pump remains on because we need to flush the system free of hot water. So since we don't have our jumper hose and we got two tools connected, we're going to use one of the tools to pull it off. Temperature, you're going to see the cool off happening because the burner is off. Like I said, you could do this faster with the jumper hose, but we had to use the boat tool to show the power of it. So if you go back to the temperature gauge, it's pretty much cooled off. Look. The RPM, you drop it. Machine is evacuated free of hot water. We don't need the pump to be on anymore. Pump is off. So far we have the burner off, thermostat off, pump is off. And finally you turn the engine on. Now every once in a while you might get a backfire coming out of the exhaust, which is normal. That's in case if for whatever reason there is extra fuel inside of the intake and it gets blown into the exhaust manifold, he's got to find his way out. So you might experience some type of mild backfiring at shutdown, which everything is, you know, normal. Anyway, this was a video showing you how to run the machine. Again, like I said, you turn the machine on, you allow the baby to run for about a minute to kind of loosen up. You hook up your hoses, you can go dual action, but definitely your speed, maintain it between 2800 to 3100. It all depends what you're going to be doing. If you're going to do a single action, stay at 2800. That way you use the least amount of gas and fuel to do the job, because she is equipped with a 40 horsepower engine. She does not need to run that fast to give you the performance that you expect from her. However, if you're going to go dual action, you can always increase it at your own discretion, 3000 or 3100. Anything above 3100 in my book is a waste of gas and also wearing the machine. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time. This was a educational video showing you pretty much, you know, how your Marine 4047 operates. As far as the pump out, like I said, it's very simple. It's really it's automatic pump out. In other words, if there is no water, as I explained in the prior video, in the tank, she will not allow you to activate her pump. So in order to do the pump out is very simple. If you're about to pump out, number one, you turn the machine off with the tank being, let's say, halfway full. So step one is to shut off the machine momentarily. Open that yellow valve. You'll be able to see a flow of water coming out. Now, the water must be above this level for it to come out. Once the water starts flowing out, that's when you're going to restart your system. And of course, you're going to turn the APO on, which is your automatic pump on, and you'll be able to see she will pump out as you extract more and more gray water. Again, I want to thank you for your time, and I look forward to see you in future videos.